One of the first things that happened to me after I started with Needline, and I call it my dry bean story, the office that I was in had a window that faced outside where I could hear everything everyone was saying as they was leaving Needline. And I heard this young woman go, "Why would they give me these hard beans? Who can eat them?" And she took them and she threw them on the ground. So I went out and I talked with her for a while, invited her to come in. I picked the bag up. We looked at the bag and I said, this is how you prepare them. This is how you soak them. This is how you cook them. Well, the longer we talked, the more I realized she couldn't read. So we had fun. I made friends with this lady, this client, who was desperately in need of food to feed her family. So I stayed one afternoon after work for a month, and we prepared the beans. She'd take them home, they'd eat. She'd come back, "I've got all these beans left. What do I do?" Well, they were pinto beans, so I explained to her how she could make refried beans with pinto beans. And we grew and built a bond, and she started preparing meals and enjoyed. She would share with other people what she had learned. And then we also took the step and she went to the Adult Learning Center and studied and learned how to read, got her GED, and moved on with her life. So to me, that's what we're all about. We need to give a helping hand, but we also need to know enough of why is this person, a lot of times we don't realize what that person, why they're the way they are. What led them to have to come in for help? Why didn't she understand how to prepare dried beans? She'd never been shown, and she couldn't read. So sometimes we need to step back and ask a few questions and then offer a helping hand. And oh me, what a difference it's made in her life. We also had a lady to come in, and this hasn't been that long ago, but her child was premature and was very sick, and they had to airlift the baby immediately. She wasn't able to go at that time, but she came to Needline with the hospital calling and the social workers asking if we could help because she didn't have gas money to get to Louisville. So we made sure and got some food prepared, gave her a gas card, put gas in her truck, and then I contacted Salvation Army in Louisville to make sure that she would have a place to stay. And I didn't hear nothing else. She left. A few months later, a young lady come and tapped at my door and said, "Can I come in?" I said, "Sure." She said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't." And she went to crying. Well, when she went to crying, I felt about that big and like, oh man, I'm an awful person. I can't do this. And she said, no, I don't feel that way. She said, "I know you see hundreds of people, but I wanted to come and say thank you, because without you and the help, I couldn't have seen my baby. She only lived for 3 days." So I hugged her and I said, "Bless your heart. I do want to share this, that because of the community, we were able to send her and send food with her and make sure that she had those 3 days with her child. It's because of this community."